But I think the other big story this morning is that the United States has issued a temporary 30-day waiver allowing Russian oil cargoes currently stranded at sea to be sold to India. How will this impact oil refineries and marketing companies? Swami Sarkar joining in with more details.
This 30-day waiver that India has got, this will be definitely positive for the supplies that were currently halted. Now, what does this do? It will address the current issue on crude availability. There were a lot of supply issues, so that gets addressed. But this does not mean that Indian oil marketing companies or oil refining companies will be able to refine oil at a profitable level. Now, if you look at Brent crude, it continues to trade around the $83 per barrel mark as against $71 per barrel that we had seen a week ago. Now, the financial impact would completely depend on whether this Russian crude is bought at a discount or not. Now, before the war started, Russian crude was available at a discount of close to $12.4 per barrel as against $2.5 per barrel that we had seen in November 2025. Now, this discount had widened largely because India had stopped importing Russian crude, because of which this discount had increased. But right now, given the current situation, it doesn't seem that this crude might be available at a discount. In fact, it might be available at a premium as well. Now, let's look at the current status of the oil refiners and the oil marketing companies. Now, on the refining side, firstly, if you look at the Singapore gross refining margin, that is trading at around Singapore gross refining margin and the Indian gross refining margin. Both are trading around $23 to $24 per barrel, which is quite high compared to what the previous average. In fact, in 2025, it used to trade around $6 to $7 per barrel mark, and currently is trading at around $23 to $24 per barrel mark. And this is quite positive for pure play or companies that have more refining in their business. That is Reliance Industries, MRPL, and Chennai Petro. When it comes to the marketing segment, where we focus on the oil marketing companies like IOCL, BPCL and HPCL, the gross marketing margin on petrol and diesel is negative 20 rupees per litre. Now, before the war started, it was positive 2.2 or 2.5 rupees per litre. But given the fact that crude prices have increased by around $12 per barrel and also rupee has depreciated, both these factors have led the gross marketing margin into deep negative territory of 20 rupees per litre. And if going forward, this will be negative for all the oil marketing companies, that is IOCL, BPCL and HPCL. Now, this can be only positive if the Russian crude is available at a discount, but if, the chances of the same is very less likely at this moment. And even if the crude supplies come in, the financial impact on IOCL, BPCL and HPCL is much likely to be on the negative side.
Just a quick follow-up, Somit. Preceding the war and preceding the geopolitical tension, what was the discount to market price that Russian crude was being sold at? It wasn't too much, was it?
No, I just mentioned that before the war, the Russian crude was available at a discount of around $12.4 per barrel. Now, this had increased significantly from $2.5 per barrel that we had seen in November 2025. And this was largely because Indians had stopped importing Russian crude. So this discount had increased, but most likely this discount must have been wiped out right now. And in fact, Russian crude would be available now at a premium.
In fact, there are reports this morning that Russian crude might be at a premium between $4.5 to $5 a barrel. The Ural crude specifically, and that's likely to happen. And I don't know if you folks saw that very casual social media post which showed Putin having a conversation in which he talked about, now the Europeans want my help, maybe we should not provide to them because we should provide to more reliable partners. In 2 months, they will pull the plug on us in any case. So it's the way things turn in oil politics right now is astonishing.